Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric here with Iraq Veteran 8888. Today, I've got another Gun Gripe episode for you, and today we're going to be talking about why the Second Amendment has never been more important. Here we are in 2025, and I tell you, lots of crazy things have been going on, and it's never been more important to exercise your rights and to protect your rights. We're going to go into some of the reasoning and sort of get into some societal factors that might be coming into play. I'm sure many of you are paying attention, but we will get into this. Before we get started, I would like to thank our friends at Allegiance Gold for being a long-term supporter of the channel. You ever notice how gold doesn't get much airtime until the system starts to shake? Well, here's what nobody's talking about. Starting July 1st, Basel III global banking rules classify gold as a Tier 1 asset, the same level as cash or U.S. Treasuries. This is huge. It means that central banks will now treat gold as the highest quality form of capital. They're not just doing this for fun. They're preparing for something. If gold is good enough for the world's most powerful banks and governments, why wouldn't it be good enough to protect your retirement? This may be the moment we've all been waiting for. Gold could reach levels we've never seen before. Whether you got 5K or 5 million to safeguard, now is the time to act. I've seen plenty of gold companies advertise and come and go, but I chose to partner with Allegiance Gold because they actually care about their pricing, about their integrity, and about doing the right thing by their clients. They make it simple to move part of your 401k, IRA, or savings into real physical gold and silver. As a veteran, you may even qualify for up to $5,000 in free silver. Call 844-790-9191 or visit allegiancegold.com/veterans. That's 844-790-9191. It's smart, simple, and secure. Call today and secure your free silver. All right, so get your gold on. If you want to get yourself some investment going on, check out Allegiance. Really great group of people, and a big thanks to them for supporting us for as long as they have. So, why is the Second Amendment so dang important? I mean, I would argue that the Second Amendment is even more important today than it ever has been during its entire life. Yes, we've been through a lot of ups and downs as a community, right? The Second Amendment advocates have fought long and hard to gain back long lost rights and have taken us an uphill battle that we've continuously fought to try to regain lost ground that's been lost in terms of the Second Amendment, right? We had the Bruen decision. I mean, you look at the Heller decision. There's a lot of groundbreaking work being done in terms of the Second Amendment, right? All right, we have more constitutional carry states now than not, right? I believe we're up to 30 now or 29 or something like that. So we've got a lot of states that have adopted constitutional carry, and that number is growing. So why in the world would the Second Amendment be even more important now than it has in years past if it seems like maybe the sort of Overton window is shifting on this particular issue, or that the goalposts in regards to the Second Amendment as a hot button issue are shifting in a way that is maybe for the first time in a long time favorable for us? Why would that be the case? I think the answer is that a lot of the political, dealings that we're contending with that are on the table right now, that obviously you look at things like Charlie Kirk and his shooting, you look at all of the, things that are going rampant in our country right now, Antifa's looting and rioting and causing problems and pushing back against the police. And you've got, all of these very politically driven people committing essentially what they view as political violence to, further their own goals or to further their own political aspirations or whatever the case may be. I mean, you have an entire party within our own government who advocates for violence against people that particular side of the equation doesn't like. So, yeah, a gun owner has a very important job right now to arm themselves and protect themselves and be ready at a moment's notice for any shift in the continuum. Anything can happen at any time. People are getting hurt all the time. There's, violence is stepping up and ramping up in a way that has never been done before. I mean, whether you are a leftist or a right-wing person is not even really relevant here. What is relevant is that, the government is taking off their gloves and they're calling in the National Guard to deal with any problems that they see, right? The left, right, they're taking off the gloves and they're literally shooting people. So, this creates a dangerous environment for many in the middle who really just want to be left alone at the end of the day. And I think that number represents a heck of a lot more people than you may think, right? Yes, there are many people on the right that are a little bit on the lunatic side, and there's people on the left that are on the lunatic side. And is always going to have your evangelical people that are very, very ingrained in their moral views, and they, think that they can do no wrong. And of course, the left, works within a paradigm of false morality and false virtue and pandering. So there's all these things that can create these illusions of grandeur that a certain group of people will have, and they think that everything they're doing, they swear to God that they are in the right, that they are morally in the right, that no matter what force they use against another person, that force is justified because their political aspirations mean more than your safety. And when you look at the anti-gunners, they're a very dangerous group of people because they're not anti-gun. They're pro-gun. They just don't want you to have a gun. They want their armed soldiers of the political mechanism to be able to come and exact their will against you, and you have nothing that you can do to fight back against their will. They want to force their will upon you, and they know that disarming you is the only effective way that they can accomplish that goal. That's why the Second Amendment has never been more important than it is now. I understand that, prices on stuff have gone up. People are having a hard time putting food on the table. Folks are pulling back on a lot of their favorite things they used to do. And yeah, as a result, some people are pulling back on their favorite 2A rights group, right? Like maybe they're not donating to their favorite group anymore. Or maybe they think that because the Republicans are in charge, oh, well, my Second Amendment is not under attack because we have a Republican-controlled House, Senate, and presidency. Therefore, I can just bury my head in the sand and move on to some other issue and pretend that the Second Amendment is not a hot-button issue right now in this day and age. One would argue that maybe it's less of a hot-button issue than it has been just because of some of the gains that we've gotten, but that battle is never over. And even if you don't feel like politically your rights are in danger, maybe you don't feel like Trump's DOJ is as anti-gun as they actually turn out to be. I feel sorry for you if you feel that way. They actually have proven not to be extremely pro-gun at all. And, Trump himself has signed some executive orders in the past against guns. So, you can't say that just because a Republican's in charge that your guns are not in danger in some way. But let's just say, even if you do feel, okay, I'm safe, I don't have to worry about the government coming for my guns or further regulating my ability to procure guns for my safety or whatever, that still doesn't change the fact that people are willing to use violence against you in the everyday world. And that number of people and their will to commit that violence is growing day by day by day. And as the mask is pulled off of these people consistently, and they realize that they are losing the war on words, that they are losing the morality war, right? When they realize they're losing the social media war, they're losing the war of ideas, they will then begin to, like a cornered animal, attack from the corner as if they're being surrounded and lash out and commit violence against the people that they view as being, deplorable, reprehensible, evil people in their eyes. I'm talking about the left and the way that they love to use violence as a tool to achieve their goals. Even if you don't think your gun rights are in danger, you might physically be in danger. Keep your head on a swivel. Go out there, live your life, be happy, do the things that make you happy. Don't dwell on every little thing, but just be prepared. Get a gun, learn how to use it. I mean, if you fought so hard over these years to protect your rights, why aren't you engaging in your rights and using your rights every day? Carry a firearm, keep one in your car, get a gun to train with, keep it in your house. Whatever you have to do to know that you're going to solidify yourself against the forces of evil. That is why the Second Amendment has never been more important than it is now, because your lives have never been as directly challenged by a political entity as they are now. And I know that's a hard truth to hear. People don't want to hear that. But the truth is that the cards are on the table right now, and the masks are off and the gloves are off. And you have to be ready. If somebody brings a gun to a gunfight, you better have a gun too. And I think it's only a smart thing to do. No matter what your political affiliation is, everybody should be armed and everybody should be on equal footing with anybody that would try to oppose them in what they want to do to be free, happy, and productive members of a good, homogenous, well-intended society. I think that's just a smart way to be. I hope everybody has a great day. Thanks so much for tuning in today's Gun Gripe. And also a big thanks again to Allegiance Gold for supporting our efforts. Go check out their stuff down in the description box below. Get yourself some gold. I have many more videos on the way, and we'll see you soon.